Hello. So I'm gonna be drawing. I have some furry commissions I need to work on, and for the past like week or so, my arm has given me, unfortunately, a fair amount of pain. I think I just strained it, and it really hurts me not to draw for like more than a couple days. Like physical, like pain in my chest, not like oh, it causes my arm to hurt even more. No. Um, I'm just saying, if I could be a robot, you know, that had unlimited arm strength, I definitely think I would be that. But I'm not, unfortunately. But one can dream. So I gotta work on a couple commissions. They have been patiently awaiting me, and I absolutely appreciate their patience. Also, I do have a new mic, so if it sounds better, let me know. But if there are any improvements, also please let me know. Um, I also might be suffering from some sort of sniffleitis right now. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, oh god, my butt hurts. Oh my god, no, it's like here. Let me draw it out where the pain is. Show me on the on the skeleton where the pain is. It's like right here. Oh god, it's been forever since I've drawn. No, because it's like the hip bones are like this, right? Kind of looks like a butterfly. By the way, the pain in electric blue. It's like right here. It's at the very bottom, like right where my butt cheeks are. Like right there. That's where it hurts. Ma'am, that is a bug. It's oh, you're right. It does look like a butterfly. Well, I don't know how to draw hips. I'm not a hip drawing expert. I know how to draw like the simplified form of hips where it's just like a bowl. And then you have your leg joints that like stick out like this, and then you have your femur. I think your femur is like the strongest bone in your body, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. And then it's like it does this number, I think. The only reason I know about this is because this is technically a bony landmark. I think it's called your iliac crest. I'm not sure how visible it is on men, but I know women it's like very prominent. Like you can see it and definitely feel it. It's like right there, like you know. I think this is how you draw women, right, guys? Um, I don't think this is how you draw women. But this isn't obviously an over exaggeration of it, but I think that's how it's supposed to go. I could be wrong. I don't look at too many like ladies' hips, so I don't know. Maybe there's a lady hip expert out there that can tell me that I'm not doing this right, which is honestly totally fair. Like, in fact, I don't think I've ever had anyone come on to my stream to be like, "And you're not drawing this right." And even if they did, I'd be like, "Okay." Like, I wouldn't really. I personally wouldn't get bothered by it unless they were like really annoying. But I feel like you kind of have to be annoying now. At least for me to get bothered by you. I don't know, cause like I've been like that before. I've been that annoying person. I don't see what you know what I mean, Tuna. I do see women. I just don't see their hips. Okay. I mean, are you a womanly oh my god, I can't speak. Are you a woman hip expert? Is this a professional ladies hip expert in YouTube right now? So anyway, so this person is transforming into a Clydesdale in case any of you guys are wondering like what is going on in this commission. Because originally I had like the belly like ripped and they're like, no, 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 I don't want it ripped. I'm like, I got you. So I don't know. I don't look at too many. Yeah, and I also told them I'm like ignore the legs and how awful the feet look. Like one step at a time. You're better with male muscle anatomy. Yeah, it's kind of weird. How do I say this? God, I'm about to say something that might get me canceled, and I'm okay with that. But this is just from my personal experience. I feel like men is like drawing mechanical objects. It's like there's a clear, like you can clearly see their muscles, but with women, because their muscle mass is usually a lot like less defined, in part just because women tend to have more like fat deposits, like just naturally on our bodies than men. You don't see a whole lot of that like muscle super clearly. Um, so I've always struggled with drawing men because it's like you have to know like your stuff. Where I feel like with women, it's like you don't have to know like the individual forms of like the arms to get it right. But I could be completely wrong about this, and I would not be shocked if I'm wrong about that, or if that's just like an incredibly like gross simplification of everything, which is totally fair. Um, but I am definitely gonna be fixing these feet. They look a bit off. Let me type in male feet. That'll get me some great results. Oh, I do get some great results. Did you, fun fact, guys, did you know that the first result when you type in male feet is men.wikifeet.com? Listen, I'm just saying, that's how I know I've made it as an internet celebrity, is if I get put on WikiFeet. I unfortunately haven't been put on WikiFeet. But one day, it'll only be a matter of time. One day, that day is just not today. But like maybe, okay, maybe not that. Um, and yeah, please let me know if my mic doesn't sound good or if it's picking up like typing like keyboard sounds. I currently don't have a mic arm for it, although I really want to get one. Um, but I'm not sure if I want to get like the big one that like cranes over like your monitors, or if I want to get those like low profile ones that are like sleek or whatever. I'm not too sure, honestly. God, men are so hot. Oh my god. I'm so, you guys didn't hear any of that. Okay, we're gonna put everything in a folder because I need to draw these legs. Like, I need to redraw them, but I want to see what I had underneath before. Like, did I take my medicine? Yes, no, I did. Okay. Oof. Oof, God, I was so worried. Let me go. Um, what's another reference I need? Shoes, maybe. There's something. Oh, right. Tight shirt. I forget how you draw it, where like the buttons are still on, but like okay, apparently when you God, okay, apparently when you type in type shirt, you actually get a mixture of men and ladies wearing tight shirts, which is honestly pleasantly surprising. I thought it was all gonna be women. Like I'm telling you, like anytime you look up a search result and you're like something something women, okay, not the vast majority. Sorry, that was a hyperbole. Um, a fair amount of it seems to be like more sexualized than like men. And maybe it's just because like women just how do I even approach a subject without trying to sound incredibly sexist? I mean, I'm not. I'm just afraid that it might come off like that. Where it's just like how do I say it? Where it's like the default men are boring, but women are sexy. And I feel like the biggest like asshole for even like saying that. But, like, that's what it feels like sometimes. Like you look up like man shorts and it's just shorts and men. No, it's men wearing shorts. But if you look up like shorts women, you're gonna find some like very like like bootylicious images, and you're like, whoa, okay. But like you normally don't find that if you look up like the man version of it. At least I think. Again, they're probably sexualized in a much different manner than I'm used to with like ladies, so I don't know. And yes, I also love men too. I'm a I'm a number one man enjoyer. I enjoy me a good man. Thank God for the internet. I can search up a person wearing too tight of a shirt. God, that makes me so happy that it's just available online. I'm not sure why I was doing the legs. How do horses' legs work? Hold on. Yeah, bro, I feel that so much with like women's clothing too. Like I don't know if men's clothing like does the same thing. But like I know with ladies' clothing, even if the model is like really skinny and all that stuff, most times like when they're doing photo shoots, they'll have it like pinned in the back. So from the front, it looks really like tailored, like form fitting. Also, I'm about to sneeze. I do apologize. Oh god. I'm so sorry. Hang on, where's my tissues? I think it's next to my bottle of lotion for some reason. Where the heck are my tissues? Did I get rid of? Did I use them all up? Oh, they do pin men's clothing? Okay, sweet. Also, yes, I did have to get some tissues. I don't know where they are. But yeah, I feel that. And then also, oh my god, I don't, here's the thing, I don't know if it's as prominent with like men and like male models, but like, I know with like ladies. Okay, at least here in the United States, good old America, the average height for a woman is 5 feet 4 inches. But if you look at the models that they usually get to model the like standard size clothing, they're like 5'9". And you're like, this is not gonna look the same on most people. And like we know that, but like there should be some semblance of like reality. Especially if you're just doing like online shopping, that's where it gets really difficult to tell. Like that's where you just have to hope and pray that people who are reviewing it were like honest. How do I how did I draw why did I draw these legs? Hold up. Oh right, cuz I got really distracted. How are Oh, they're like that. Ah. So why did I make it? I don't know what I was doing. I guarantee you I was more focused on the upper half than the lower half. But I think they wanted most of the upper half to be changing, not necessarily the lower half. So um, that makes sense. But yeah, I always laugh when I look at like women's clothing. I don't know. It's like, oh, the model was wearing a size small and just so happened to be like 6 feet tall, and you're like, are we getting supermodels to model clothing? Like, I get it. You obviously want to have attractive people modeling your clothing. Like, that's not the issue. The issue is that it's not gonna look it's not gonna look the same, you know? But what do I know? I'm so sorry. I think I have like allergies or something, man. That makes me I mean, it sucks that they pin like men's clothing, but it also makes me very happy that like I'm not alone. Oh, also little pro tip for anyone who's struggling to ground characters in like their space that they're in. If you draw like a really quick grid in perspective, it really helps out with like the placement of the feet and the perspective. Even if you're doing something where there's not like a background, like I'm not going to draw the room that this is in. You're just drawing the characters. It still really helps a lot. And it doesn't have to be like perfect either. I think that's something that I see a lot with like beginner artists where they get really caught up in I gotta make everything like perfect with perspective, which I totally get because you're learning the fundamentals, but like it's okay. Like you just gotta figure out your horizon line and like maybe your vanishing point, and that's it. But I don't listen to me because I don't do a lot of perspective drawings anyway. Can I just have the shoes already being ripped to shreds? Like, do I really need to draw the shoes? Because I'm struggling here. I wouldn't be shocked if there's like some artists out there that are like, yeah, we're just gonna have it be transformed mostly around the hands and the feet because they're like, I can't draw hands. I totally get that. Honestly, drawing like TF content is kind of hard because you have to do usually humans. Like, you have to learn how to draw humans and then also the animals or like characters as well. Mm, I should really cut myself some slack because it's like the first time in a while since I've been drawing this. So actually, I'm gonna extend this canvas downwards. It's a little bit too close to the edge. There we go. Just need a little bit for breathing room. Actually, you know what? Let's just completely like minimize this. So I'm only looking at. Yeah, trying to draw hands halfway into hooves. Yeah, for some reason I think I got it with the like this one right here. Um like I was like, "Oh, that should be like the thumb and the thumb should be like merging with the hand." And I was thinking that the fingernails would like expand outwards. I think. I'm not exactly sure if that's how it works, but I can ask the commissioner for some help with that. Um, but yeah, this hand's giving me a run for my money. That's gonna be the harder one because it's like I don't know how I want it to transform yet. I don't know. I've always thought about doing these like transformation artworks as like puzzles. Like they're just pieces of puzzles. I'm also gonna make the legs longer. I don't know why. I think that might be it. I think that might be why I'm like struggling. Aside from the fact that it's been like 5 million years since I've drawn, and I'm currently dealing with some sort of awful um like sinus issue or whatever. There we go. Look, he's taller now. Why did I draw them so short? I have no idea. It's just one of my many mysteries. I'm like, I don't know why I did this, but I did it. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, if aliens only had online, like, clothing shopping websites to give them information about humanity, they would think that we are all supermodels who are incredibly attractive. Every male has a square jaw, and every lady has, like, a petite face with, like, big lips and beautiful eyes. And then they're gonna be in for the shock of their life when they come down to Earth, and those are the exceptions to the rule. The vast majority of people are just like, "Mm, okay," which is kind of funny, honestly. I mean, I wish we all looked amazing and really hot. Just unfortunately, that's not the case, which is quite sad. How would I? Okay. Oh, yeah. I still okay. I just have to extend it out more. I'm gonna do a little more than I probably need to. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Why does this look so? Oh, it's because the feet aren't in perspective. That's why. That's why. I was like, why does this leg look really short? I'm gonna scale down these feet. That's one thing I'm not good at is keeping things in proportion. I don't know why. I just struggle with that. And it also doesn't help that I'm trying to draw something I normally struggle with anyway, which is pants falling down. No, it's actually shoes. Although I am about to have to look up pants falling down. Um, like their butt crack. Like how do I get the clothing full? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm actually not getting a whole lot of topics. Oh wait, I forgot. I forgot about the people that wore the saggy pants. Oh my god, that's excellent reference. Wow. That's basically what it is. I don't get that style. I think they have to wear a belt to keep it down, which is kind of funny. Hi, Sketchbook. Thank you. I'm working on a commission. Yeah. How do I draw? You know what? I can't do this. I gotta take an image. I think it's gonna get baggy around the back, but I don't know until I try it out. Where the heck is my Yeah, I'm back. Oh. Ugh, sorry. Some of you might have been wondering what those sounds were, and those were the sounds of me getting on my hands and knees to get the charging cable. Oh, well, that's a good thing. Just imagine me doing that. If you can hear that. I'm so happy with our new mic, man. Because for the longest time I was rocking like like a cheap $30 one, and I was like, yeah. Okay, even with the photos, I don't know how to draw. Oh, because I took them from the back angle. Never mind. Whatever. It seems to be going straight across the hips. Like it starts here, but then the pants are here, so it creates like a straight line almost. But it's weird because it's not. Like the forms change. I probably will ask the commissioner. I'm like, how much rear endage am I? Do you want me to show? Sometimes you have interesting conversations, and you're like, I'm trying to be respectful, but I also know, like, we're talking about something that's kind of funny in like a very childish way. It's just too much rear. Do you want me to pull the pants up? I can do that. Yeah, I think it would just be really baggy. I don't know. I'm not the best with clothing folds. I know there are some artists out there that are like, let me show you how to paint my super realistic clothing folds. And I'm like, God, I wish I could draw like that. I think if it's coming down, it would also be kind of baggy, like in the crotch area, because the whole thing's coming down. It's not just like on one side. But they might not want that. Again, this is like cartoon reality world, so which I always forget. Like I always forget, oh, it doesn't have to be realistic, and that's okay. Like what do you mean? What do you mean I don't have to abide by the laws of physics in my TF commissioned artwork? Surprise, you don't have to. Who knew? Do you think it'd be funny if it was actually they might not want that. I have learned that the TF people really are like, show me the T, like show me the body. And I'm like, but there's underwear underneath there and there's like socks in the feet and they're like, show me it. Show me the TF happening. I'm like, I got you, bro. I got you. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure how this hand's gonna go down, but they might want it to be more visible too. I think instead of having it be curled up, I'm thinking it might be something like that. Where like the fingers have started to merge. Um Same thing with like the hand. I don't know. I personally like to have some sort of asymmetry going on because I don't want to do everything the same. Like, I don't want to have two hands look exactly the same. But also, that's just me. I don't know. I'm gonna make this hand a little bit bigger. Also, there might be a point where I stop talking and I focus on drawing, but I'm just warning you guys in case you're like, "Whoa, what happened? You were really chatty and then you like stopped talking." That's why. I think they also wanted a bigger belly, which I can definitely do. Because it is a Clydesdale. My first pass of this was not amazing because I was kind of afraid to like push it. Because like when I have to do these like TF drawings, I'm like, I want it to be more what's the word? I can't think of anything. Words are overrated. Let's be real, guys. English, we don't need it. Hi, Circus. Hello, welcome in. I'm working on a little TFR. Yeah, it's a guy that's turned into a Clydesdale. And honestly, Clydesdales are awesome. They're like great big like draft horses. They're so cool. And they have little fur on their hooves, which is like the best part, let's be real. Like if Clydesdales didn't have like hooves on their horses, they would just be like, oh, this is just a huge horse, you know? But that's just me personally. I have to map out the buttons, but it helps me. You love horses? I love horses too. Wasn't there a song? God, how did it go? It was I love horses, best of all the animals. I love horses. Something, something, a friend to all, or something. It was a song that they made for some like kids, uh, like horse website, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. It was something that was so unbelievably catchy that I am shocked it is not like resurfaced in popularity. Like it is such a just an absolute bop. Like they did not need to go that hard, but they did. Do you have like a favorite kind of horse? I know there's like a bunch of different varieties out there. It's kind of funny just because of like how domesticated they are. They're like an entire like subgroup of animal on their own. Like it's insane. Like there's so much stuff about horses. How do I draw something like a shirt? I have to look up man taking off shirt. Oh, it is exactly what I expected. Oh god, these men are so hot. I'm trying to get like the wrinkles on the shirt. Like I want it to be like, oh, it's bunching up. I guess I could also just look up man in tiny shirt maybe. Okay, I guess when I look that up, I get a mixture of stock images of oh, I had too much at Thanksgiving and now my shirt is starting to unbutton, or I am wearing a belly shirt, which I guess. I'm just trying to figure out how it would roll up. Because that's the thing. I want it to be like, oh, they're starting to like get bigger and expand outwards. I don't know. I have always struggled with clavicles. You know what? Let's just keep it tight. I don't want to overcomplicate things. I already do that enough. Let's be real. I love horses. Best of all the animals. I love. Oh, I just actually I don't know what kind of under or if they want their underwear showing. They might. I don't know. I can get very like too in my head, like too logical about these sorts of things. Cause I'm always like, oh, I want to apply logic to this, which yeah, but that's just me. Love horses, best of all the animals. Whoops, I knew that was gonna happen. I was like, I'm probably gonna move a layer underneath it without realizing it, and that is exactly what happened. I moved this wonderful mirror I drew. Although now that I'm looking at it, I don't think the mirror's in perspective, but like whatever, we'll fix it. I hope they're happy with it. I mean, they should be, because it's been, unfortunately, a very long time since I've worked on it. One of these days, I'll get better at drawing clothing, but for now, yeah. I think there's like a little flap on these like dress shirts, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, also there's like the shoulders are gone, like they're disappeared. I guess so. If that were the case, then there'd be more like tearing around the arms. Clothes are kind of hard. Bro, you are so true. Yeah, if you just draw animals, like, you don't have to draw clothing unless they wear clothing. Like, I don't I don't blame you one bit, man. I remember, and I don't know if it's still a thing. It might be, and I'm just not in the circles anymore, but I remember like people were like obsessed with the wolves. Like there was this like whole mythology about wolves. Like people were going crazy for like what was it, like Wolf's Rain or something like that, which is some like anime. I'm not super familiar with it, unfortunately, but if you were like into wolves, you were into that show because it was about wolves. At least that's what it seemed like online at the time. It was just kind of funny. Okay. Wow, they are so good about getting me feedback. It just takes me a while to like draw it. But also like I was dealing with a elbow and arm injury for the past couple days. Well, more like the past couple week and a half, which is very unfortunate because I love drawing. And if I can't draw, I get like really sad. Like for me, like drawing is life. If I can't draw, like am I even living? Am I even alive? Just crazy stuff, you know. I love horses, friends with all the animals. Fluff of the tail. Okay. Because I was trying to make it be like, oh, it like starts off as like a fleshy protuberance and then it like tail thing. But he wants it fluffy. I got you, bro. I know what you want. Like the amount of notes I get from commissioners, they're like almost all of them are the exact same. Where it's just like, I want to see more fluffy. Like I need it to be incredibly fluffy. And I'm like, I got you. It's just kind of funny how it's like the same thing. Which makes sense. It's like furries would want to be like furry. I also have never been good at drawing like hair. I've always struggled with it. It just is always difficult for me personally. Like for me to make it look good. Like it might sometimes seem to people like I know what I'm doing, but I really don't. I'm like, this is hard. Like there are people out there who just draw gorgeous hair and they make it look so easy. I am not one of those people. Like I've watched a ton of tutorials and I still can't draw hair. Oh. How do you draw horses so good? I really enjoy your art. Thank you, vibes. Great question. Um, for people, hold up. I might be approaching this much more seriously than you were intending me to answer, but the only reason I can draw horses is simply because I look at references, and usually before I draw, I will do like studies on how to draw horses, and you'll like I'll mentally and like physically make notes out on like, okay, how does the head of a horse look? Because it's like the difference between like drawing a horse from like your mind versus drawing one from this looks so goofy, versus drawing one from like photographs. It makes a really big difference, and plus you can kind of spot like your problem areas. Like I know for me, at least with like humans and also like anthropomorphic animals, my main problem is the head and shoulder areas. I specifically for some reason always forget to draw shoulders. So they just kind of look weird sometimes, where it's like, here's the neck, here's the body, and then here's the arms. Like, there's no shoulders, but in my mind, it looks right. But I always forget that there's shoulders. Like, you gotta have a clothes hanger in there, you know, it's to hang the clothes up. Otherwise, your shirts would just like fall down. Um, you study anatomy to draw. Yeah, I agree. That is so much better than mine. How oh, how do you draw animals? I totally get that. Again, my biggest tip for any of you guys that want to learn how to draw animals and stuff is just to do studies. And they don't by the way, they do not have to be works of art. Like they are just mental notes for you to learn like how do I draw something. Like I can give a really quick example if I have enough people who are asking about this. Um let me just here's a real image of a Clydesdale, by the way, okay? So when you're drawing something, you just want to like you're basically just trying to like break it down into basic shapes. That's really all this is. It's nothing. I mean, it can get way more complex if you really want to go that route, but um so basically you're going to try to be like, okay, how is the horse head constructed? Usually when you're drawing something organic, you're usually just going to start off with a circle. It's like the basics. Um and then you're going to draw like the snout. Uh and then you just draw the eyes. See, if I were drawing this without reference, I'd put the eyes right here. But they actually seem to be like pretty front facing actually, but they're still on the side. Look at different poses of the animal and do like basic shapes. Yes, absolutely. I remember I did a bunch of studies on like horse legs because I've never drawn horses before, and I'm like, I don't know how to draw these guys. Oh God! And you have to like learn. And here's the thing: you do not. I want to be clear. You do not have to learn like muscle anatomy or anything like that. The number one thing you should be trying to learn is proportions, and then also what are the basic shapes that make up this animal. Those are gonna really help you understand like, oh, this is how this animal is constructed, and like trying to get those proportions correct. Um, so if I'm just doing a study of it, like the one thing I immediately notice is that it's got like a pretty sloped, like almost downward turned snout. So I'd want to make a note of that, and then you'd want to like connect it back. Like one thing I think is very interesting about horses is like they have such a big like jaw area. I don't know if that's like the technical term, but it's like a pretty big thing. Again, I'm also gonna make note of the frontward, like facing eye. This is gonna look a little bit bad, and that's okay. Because you don't. Here's the good thing about like studies. You don't have to show people this unless you want to on like social media. Like that's okay. You know, it's okay to make a bad drawing, especially when you're like learning how to draw something. Like, don't ever feel pressured to like show people that unless you're like really proud of it. Obviously, then go right ahead. Um, And then this guy, like one thing I learned about horses was that they have like really big lips. Like they might not seem like it, but they have like really big lips. And they also have like at least this one has very tiny ears. But yeah, horses just have really big jaws. And then at least a Clydesdale has an incredibly thick neck. Like their bodies are massive compared to their legs, even if this is like a very muscular sort of draft horse. Yeah. Hi Noah, welcome in. Um, so yeah, that's how I would approach a study is just trying to figure out how would I draw this animal. And just kind of breaking it down in like basic shapes and noting things that might happen with animals. Like if I was drawing this from memory, like if I was at least this hoof, I think there are other Clydesdales where the fur doesn't start so high up on the foot. But I'm used to Clydesdales where like I only know that they have the fur right there and that's it. Without unless I didn't have this reference image, I wouldn't know that the fur went like this far up on the leg. Like that's like halfway up the leg where it starts. So that might be another note I might want to take. Again, I could also just write it out, be like fur long or something like that. Or you could also just draw it out. Like it starts pretty pretty high up there. Um, so yeah, that's really all that like studies are. They're just like notes that you make when you're trying to draw an animal. And definitely look at multiple images and also video. Video also helps you understand the like three dimensionality of whatever it is that you're trying to draw. There's also 3D models online. Those also help a lot. But yeah, that's what studies are. They're just quick little drawings that you do. But anyway, this is what I was working on. It's a transformation artwork. It's a commission. This guy's turning into a Clydesdale, so I had to do a fair amount of uh studies on how to draw horses because it's like how do you figure out how does this like you essentially have to blend the human version and the animals like together. And I was like, I don't know how to draw a horse. Let me go look up a bunch of stuff. And it's really helpful when you do studies or even like looking at reference images and stuff. I don't know if it's still true nowadays, but I remember I just sometimes the internet can be really dumb because they're like, "Oh, if you use reference, you're not a real artist." And I'm like, "Who? What artists are you talking to? Like, historically, artists use reference. Like, artists used like live models for like the longest time because it was such a good way to understand like anatomy and stuff like that. And to not, um, to say that that's like quote unquote not allowed is ridiculous." Yes, I absolutely agree. If you're at like a zoo or something and you can see the animals like walking around, that's also great ways to learn. Also, I need to get some water. I do apologize. I thought I had water with me. Sorry, I'm getting nervous. Like I know there's a lot of Disney stuff out there um where they would have like live animals come into the studio and they would have the animators like learn and sketch from them like from life, which would be such a cool opportunity to get. I believe they did that with the Lion King. I think they had like lion cubs in there, if I'm not mistaken. Like Disney was, at least at the time. I'm sure they still do it now, but they're really good about doing their research and stuff. But yeah, taking photos also helps. At least if you're doing anything like humanoid, um, it really helps understand like the form of it. Sometimes I visit these two horses named Copper and Kayla. Copper's a chestnut. Is a palmetto? Is that the? I don't know what a palmetto is. It sounds familiar though. I used to be somewhat into horses, not anymore though. That was before I discovered what wolves were, and wolves are so much cooler than horses. At least to me at the time, I was like, bro, these wolves, they got like a wolf pack, they got like a social structure. There's like ravens and stuff too. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I was like, move over horses. Wolves are so much cooler. Hooves a tad big. Okay, so they do want the fur. Okay. Oh, that was another reason I had to do a bunch of like horse like drawing stuff was because I didn't know how horse legs worked, like their front legs. Because it's like, how do you transform a human arm into a horse arm? You kind of have to understand like the basic forms behind it. Like the hooves are essentially a big one big giant fingernail, I guess. I think I could be wrong. I'm sure there's people out there that know a lot more about horses than I do. Who can probably inform me on whether or not I'm wrong. I wonder if there's any sort of like practical reason why they have such long like fur. Actually, let me pull up my reference before I start drawing this without any sort of I don't know what I was gonna say. They might not like it because I'm covering up the body, but we'll see. I don't like it either. See, this is oh, I'm struggling with this. Oh, oh, I found an image that helps me. Yeah, okay. So this one's like running, and it's like the fur is just so like long and majestic. It's crazy. Not that it has to be that long, but yeah. As you guys might have guessed, I really like animals. They're really cool and they're fun and like I don't know. I always liked animals. Like I had favorite animals obviously, but I was like I just like animals as a whole. Like just how different they are from us, but like how sometimes they can be like similar to us in some instances. Oh, they also wanted the hooves bigger. I was like, wait, there's like another thing. Now, when do they meet? Hold up, I'm gonna ask. Actually, no, I don't need to ask. I'll just make them bigger. Oh, that's another thing I've started to use a lot more is the liquify tool. Um, and it honestly like personally helps me because it's really easy to like quickly change proportions of something without having to like essentially chop up the drawing. But that's just me. Everyone has their own technique. Horses bring me back to my horseback riding area. Yeah. It is one big fingernail? Okay. Hold up. I gotta look. What does a horse skeleton look like then? Like, uh, the hooves. Also, please don't like self promo or ask for subs. That's not the focus of this stream. I do apologize, guys. Okay, apparently you could buy a real horse skeleton for a bunch of money. Oh my god. Whoa, it's just like bone. Okay, I didn't know that. Huh. Oh, I see. So it's like bone and then there's like hoof around it. Oh. Whoa, that's so cool. I had no idea. God, this feels so freaky to draw. TF can really, I mean, it lends itself really well to like body horror for obvious reasons. I don't know how I'm supposed to be drawing this. I don't like this. I'm just gonna keep it kind of like vaguely hoof shaped. If it like they might tell me to merge them, which honestly is totally fair. Hold up, I have a question for you guys. Do they still make like horse media? Like I remember it was like there was Horseland and there was like Black Beauty or Black Stallion. It was something like that. I don't know if they still make that. I think they do. I've seen like advertisements for a show called like Unicorn Academy, which honestly that just sounds like every like 7-year-old's girl's like dream. You get to go I think you get to go to a school in which you learn about unicorns or something. Okay, what do they want? Slim down the stomach? But you wanted the okay, I'll slim it down. Oh, I think I found a good image. Where was it? I saw it. It was like a really good image. I don't think the link needs to be that high up. I definitely need to make this body a little bit longer. Mhm. I'm gonna leave that head alone. I'll figure that out. I need to make that like this chest area wider. Or I can bring that back like forward. There we go. Now it's starting to look like a Triceratops. Make that head a little bit smaller. I don't think they'd lift their leg that high up, but let me go see if I can try to fix it with the liquefied. They do have like really short legs though. And then I can draw a rhino. That shouldn't be too difficult to draw. I just gotta figure out every other part after that, the two parts in between, which that's gonna be the hard part. Oh, they like really wide front snouts. Yeah, they're like nose holes are on like the very side of it. I suppose I should try to draw all of the animal first. My hands are cold. What are you drawing? Looks really good. Thank you. Plastic. I am actually working on a commission. So this person has commissioned me to draw a triceratops that turns into a rhinoceros. There is some sort of time travel, evolution shenanigans going on as well. Which I've never drawn either of these animals before, so I'm in for a bit of a challenge. Okay, so looks like rhinos have like a really big midsection, like massive. Like it's like that's like their shape. Like their head is right here, but then this is their like shoulder and like neck area right here, and then this is their like back leg. So I guess they just have like a really prominent like shoulder um area. They look like old men, like with how like wrinkly they are. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. It's just kind of funny because you get to like draw these animals, but then you have to give them like very human emotions. Which I don't like that. I'm not gonna erase it, even though I really want to. I'm gonna see what I can do. How did I draw it? Okay, so they had like one extra. Kind of want it to be like they're like floating in space still. At least that was the idea. I love that they have like little tails, like such a big body, but like a little itty bitty tail. And their ears are adorable. They have like really big ears. At least like compared to horses. You think horses would have big ears, but I don't know if they do. These guys have huge ears. They're a lot taller than I would expect. Like I didn't think triceratopses were that short to the ground, but I was wrong. Something about these proportions ain't right. Let me go look up Rhino 3D model. God, rhinos are so goofy looking. They're so difficult to draw, though. Oh my god. I'm getting my butt beat by this rhino. That's way too big. Can't figure out how to draw that head. Hmm. Because it's like, how do I say this? Like it's like this, but like their head, their nose, and everything else is so far down from like where it meets the body. Um, and that's what's tripping me up is that I'm used to having it be like, here's the neck, here's the eyes, like it's just right there. Um, so that's what I'm struggling with. Like the fact that these are real is absolutely insane to me. It is a lot longer than I thought, too. Wow.